Support for the show comes from World Gone Wrong. World Gone Wrong is a cozy chat show hosted by best friends Malik and Jamie, set in a wildly fictional world. These two aren't afraid to dig into the most pressing and most difficult topics, including but not limited to, what do I do if my ex-boyfriend gets taken over by an alien body snatcher? We've all been there. How worried should I be about sewer alligators reading maps in downtown Chicago? Should I change my office hours to accommodate the vampire student in my class? That only seems fair. And hey, what's the deal with that guy showing up in all of our old pictures? Blah. As we know all too well here at Buffering the Vampire Slayer, living through the apocalypse is hard, but it's easier with friends. Learn more at audaciousmachinecreative.com. World Gone Wrong releases bi-weekly on Tuesdays.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
To Buffering the Vampire Slayer. Once more with spoilers. Watcher's Diary 2.04.
Wow. Hot
I'm in a
cha
mood.
cha. I mean, Jenny is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, kind of reminiscent of the Hawaiian shirt that Spike wears in the season where he's living with Xander. And is that specific to today's Watcher's Diary? Because you did tell me, Jenny, that you were going to talk to me about a lot of things related to Buffy and our listeners, but also Love Island. So I didn't know if that you wore this for Love Island vibes or what.
Kristin, this is a tropical shirt. There's flora, there's flowers, there's greenery.
Flora and
then there's
fauna.
And macaws. It's covered in parrots. And the reason that I'm wearing it's there. Yes, it's because of Love Island. It's because I'm going to tell you about Love Island, and I wanted to be wearing the most tropical shirt I own while I do it.
It's really incredible. I love how you really go the extra mile for me, for me specifically.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think a macaw is called a macaw because it sounds
because it's like macaw?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't even know if that's what it sounds like, but it's what it brought to mind for me.
What a great question. So, sorry, this says, macaw is the common name for a large group of colorful parrots. So this is I'm going to guess this is a scarlet macaw on my shirt.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to let anyone down. I feel like there's a lot of birders in our listenership.
Listen,
I just get
Jenny,
that sense.
we are rife with birders, with landscapers, with all sorts of folks who are going to know more than we do. That's, I think, the definition of podcasting is you talk about things that you know less about than your listeners so that they can write in and actually help you learn about the world, which is what we do here.
This is actually an educational pursuit just for our benefit.
Us, this is, free college.
Yeah, if you know if the umbrella macaw term comes from them going macaw, but also, do parrots even do that? That just sounds
that's what I'm saying. I don't know. What, if you said, what does a parrot say? I would say that a parrot says sorry. Oh no.
Yeah. Fucker. Is that a good parrot voice? Okay. So what's happening today? Emails about Inca Mummy Girl.
Yeah.
Jenny teaches Kristin Love Island 101.
Great.
I have a link that I need to send you. I need for you to see it in real time.
Okay.
That's not Love Island related. It's Buffy related.
Right. What was Dawn doing while everybody was on their field trip at the Natural Museum of Sunnydale History?
I bet Dawn thrives on a field trip.
It's the Sunnydale Museum of Natural History. And yeah, Dawn was born for a field trip, 1,000%. So many hijinks. Yeah. Jenny, before we kick off last Watcher's Diary, you said you wanted to get emails telling you, I think that you were like handsome and, I don't know, smart or something.
And a cool guy.
Mm-hmm. Corey wrote in and said, Jenny wants emails, ? Jenny said to write in and talk about how much of a cool guy she is, but famously does not read emails, ?
Well, I like to have the emails read to me by Kristin. Yeah. That's part of the compliment, is that it's filtered through Kristin has to say it out loud, which makes it even better for me.
Yes. And I knew that you would respond in such a manner, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to clarify for the masses.
Yes, that is all true. That is all the truth.
I want to tell you, Jenny, I don't know where the Love Island chapter is going to fall, but I do want to tell you that Love Island has been sort of like, I don't know, there's probably a word for it, but it's been coming up in the environment around me.
It's a critical mass cloud.
Yes, so much. And so I said to Avanti probably a week or so ago, I was like, I think that we might need to watch Love Island because it's just coming up. Like, it just keeps coming up. Everybody's talking about it and it feels relevant. Mm-hmm. And Avanti said, well, I want you to know, Kristin, that Love Island airs every single day, 5 days a week. And I said, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like that. That's how it entered this house. Jess was like, it keeps coming up. I can't take not knowing.
Yeah.
I need to have my finger on the pulse. And I was like, okay. And so I've probably seen about 50% of this season because I've just seen it when I've been in the room while Jess is watching. Jess is like, I don't care what you want or what you're doing. I'm doing this.
Love Island.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to save that or do you want to tell me?
Let's start by talking about Buffy for a little bit.
Okay. Well, first things first. This is related to Inca Mommy Girl. We have a few emails that are related to Inca Mommy Girl, and of course, a few outliers about stratovolcanoes and shit. I don't think we talked about volcanoes in Inca Mommy Girl, but who knows?
We did because because
the mummies were taken from the volcanoes.
Was
Right. Okay, so first of all, we talked, Jenny, about Leone.
Yes,
and like how Xander was playing Italian, and we were like, I don't think that's a place in Italy? ? Got a bunch of emails, all saying a version of a similar thing, which is I'm going to read Hayden's email, who said, wanted to clarify what Xander was referencing with his, quote, cultural costume. He said he was from the land of Leone as a joke. Sergio Leone was an Italian filmmaker who created and popularized the film genre known as the spaghetti western. Clint Eastwood was in a bunch of them, typically with a cigar, sarape, which is the poncho thing that he was wearing, and a wide-brimmed hat. From what I can tell, they were called that because, as Xander put it, they were filmed in Italy pretending to be Montana. So that's a fun joke from Xander / the writer's room that went over all of our heads. And I'm personally excited because I love getting to say spaghetti western just generally.
They're two great tastes that go great together. Spaghetti and westerns.
So thank you to Hayden and several of you who wrote in to help us, again, learn the things we did not know.
I'm like remembering very nebulously. So correct me if I'm wrong or what have you. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like I'm always bringing up this podcast on every podcast ever. But I feel like there is a thing with Sergio. I think it's Leone.
Leone. Okay. Yeah.
Let's just say Leone.
You'd think I would know. I am the Italian of the pod. But...
You say Leone. I say Leone.
I mean, Leone is more France
the whole
than...
thing.
Yeah.
Spaghetti,
right. Spaghetti. Manigotti, you know?
If I'm remembering correctly, I think there's some kind of like cross-pollination between the sort of spaghetti Western cinematic movement and Akira Kurosawa's like samurai films. I feel like there's some kind of like something about those films being in conversation with each other back and forth, which I feel like I've heard Karina Longworth talk about on You Must Remember This. All of this could be erroneous, but I'm just saying it in case, because we're talking about cultural exchange.
Do you mean they're in conversation with each other, like the style of the films are in conversation, or do you mean like the plot lines are somehow interlaced?
I think that the two sort of subgenres were influencing one another. Those directors were interested in what each other was doing, but also it looks like Kurosawa sued Sergio Leone for over a movie called A Fistful of Dollars. So maybe Leone took it too far.
He went after a fistful of dollars over a fistful of dollars.
yes. He was like many fistfuls, actually.
Yeah, he was like, actually open your fucking fist. Okay, interesting. Well, let me talk about probably, I think, one of the more important things that we brought up in Inca Mummy Girl, which we talked in depth about with Alba, of course. And if you haven't listened to our bonus episode with Alba in full, highly recommend it. Really incredible to be in conversation with her again. So excited to have her back for future episodes.
Highly informational and absolute delight to chat with Alba again after so long. So we talked about museums and they're basically like if you're showing this exhibit of an Incan mummy, which has its own issues and how they were taken from the Incan people and so on and so forth. But maybe we hoped the funds that the museums are making off of the backs of the Incan people are being returned to the Incan people and like extending that out past, of course, just that one subset of the population. But like if a museum is showing something, then like shouldn't the proceeds of that go to the culture that it is showing and it is representing and it is all of that. So we got a couple of emails and because of course we have folks who work in museums. Bree wrote in and said, I was walking through Balboa Park today on my way from my museum to a theater. And Bree works at the San Diego Natural History Museum and has been there for 18 years. Not as far back as when Inca Mummy Girl first aired. So maybe you'll get some 90s museum peeps that will be able to write in too. Bree brings up something that another museum worker in our listenership brought up, which is the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. This happened in 1990 and it opened the conversation that we were talking about. Alicia, I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, wrote in as well. Alicia has their degree in museum studies, their master's in museum studies, and also talked about this, the NAGPRA, Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. It required federal agencies and institutions receiving federal funding to return Native American cultural items to lineal descendants and culturally affiliated American, in parentheticals, indigenous tribes, Alaskan Native villages, and Native Hawaiian organizations. Alicia says, of course, that only required artifacts of American Indigenous, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian origin to be returned and only applied to institutions that received federal funding. So there were still a lot of holes in the law, and it didn't quite cover our mummy friend, Impata. Both Alicia and Bree talk about the fact that even though this happened in 1990, that our assumption that it wasn't really happening in any large way until more recently was accurate. Mm-hmm. Bree says that they didn't hear the conversations about this until 10 to 15 years ago, even though, as Bree said, they worked at this museum for 18 years. Thankfully, I've only seen those conversations grow with large sold-out sessions taking place at museum conferences. I'm going to link in the show notes. There's a keynote that the American Alliance of Museums had this year on the Testaments of Trust. Cindi altrive talked about museums locking them out and the way museums treated Native bodies as a property
to over 4,000 museum professionals. So like, again, like just having sort of some idea of where these conversations have been and are heading, they are getting more and more focus. So definitely check that out. I'll link it. Bree then goes on to talk about a museum neighbor in Balboa Park called the Museum of Us. They were originally the Museum of Man. The day after the 2016 election, they opened their doors as the Museum of Humankind, and they've since gone through some work with their naming to land ultimately on the Museum of Us, but writes to you specifically, Jenny, because you might remember the Museum of Us as the tower in the background of the episode Cuba in Veronica Mars Season 1, A Trip to the Dentist. It's also in Citizen Kane. But
whoa,
Bree goes on to talk about the Museum of Us and their decolonization initiatives. They're front and center on their website. There's discussions on the colonial legacy of their building. And it's not just on their website. It's also visible in person. They redid their Maya exhibit in partnership with the Mayan community members, and so on and so forth. So just really, really cool information from inside of the museum spaces from two of our listeners, and I'm sure there are more of you out there. But it's encouraging to at least hear that our hopeful assumptions that these conversations were taking on more weight and momentum were accurate.
Cool. So great to have so many museumologists in the listenership. Engaging museumologists?
Museumologists, I think, is definitely the preferred term.
I'm pretty sure that's what they'd like to be called.
Jenny, how's your yard doing? How are your trees?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my God. The trees have got to go. Those two trees have got to go. I will say we've got the gardening channel up in the Discord. Mm-hmm. Someone in there told me I was really happy that we started the channel, and then someone told me that my plants will probably still die even though they have new growth, and I was like, we never should have started this channel. But the boxwoods are still looking great and continuing to grow, expand.
Great.
I'm choosing to believe that they could still hang in there and turn it around. The other day, Aldrich and I repotted I guess it's like a shrub. It's a Japanese maple that my mom gave me.
Yes,
like
your mom gave us a Japanese maple too. Is it alive out there? Anyone's guess. I don't know. It's hard stuff.
Yeah, I've been hesitant to put it in the ground because I'm still trying to figure out what is happening in my yard, and I don't want to plant it if we're then gonna have like a huge truck come in to take out these other two ash trees.
I'm telling you, this is the dilemma. Like, the biggest thing in home ownership is that you never actually do any projects because you're trying to maximize the project. And so you're like, but we need to do these other 3 things. So if we're doing all of them, we should just wait to do them. Yeah. And then 40 years pass and you've not done any of them. This is what And
I can't do anything right now because I have a child. Right. In 3 years, maybe. But like, it's the order of events has to be like the ash trees have to be RIP removed. Mm-hmm. And then I am starting to conceptualize, I'd like to plant a couple of fruit trees.
Nice.
2 or 3 fruit trees. And the maple and like build a little fire pit situation.
Yes.
These are all my goals.
I love this.
Will it all happen ever? I have no idea.
It was recently Avanti's 40th birthday, and it was
HBD.
The first birthday that I have celebrated with her where we have a child. And so I was like, oh, I'll get this for Avanti's birthday. And then I was like, oh my God, Sal has to get something for Avanti's birthday, right? This is like a brand new thing for me. So anyway, what Sal got for Avanti is an acorn vase. It's basically, you can take an acorn and you put it in the top of this little vase and it will root, and allegedly you can grow an oak tree.
A little oak tree? Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds mighty.
I want to say that Lex wrote in, one of our listeners, Lex, who I actually know because they brought me to Central Park Conservancy to do a talk with the folks who work at Central Park on gender and sexuality and so on and so forth. So that was really cool. But also, Lex is a landscape architect.
Help me!
Yeah. So was really thrilled, Jenny, about the plant. What did I call it? I already forgot about my name. Can of worms. can of worms of a feather stick together. I don't remember. But
worms of a feather famously definitely stick.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, dude, you have a feather too?
I'm like, what?
We named
Botany Corner?
What? No, I had some other pun, but you're right. Botany Corner is maybe where we landed. But anyway, ash trees is one of Lex's current projects.
Really?
Yeah, and did you know that tree inoculations are a thing? You can inoculate your trees to protect against certain tree diseases and pests. The one that Lex knows most of is to guard against Dutch elm disease. But ash trees are one of Lex's current projects and is being given such miracle drugs to defend it against little pests. Women in STEM, Lex says.
This is true, and I'm surprised that I didn't mention it because when we moved into this house, we had to get a different tree taken care of. And while they were here, they were like, oh, you've got like these ashes. You should maybe think about whatever. But at the time, we had just made a down payment. We had spent all of our money on a down payment on the house, and like we had to replace the roof. And there were all these other more pressing things. So we were like, we can't. There's a bunch of them, and we can't afford the inoculation. And now,
yeah, it's like inoculate your children first, your trees second? Question mark.
Yeah, I have notes for my past self, but live, learn, laugh, love.
I file all of the emails that are going to be read on Watcher's Diaries under Watcher's Diary, but then, of course, I have a new subsection for pet sounds, and this email from Lex actually fit into both subsections. We're going to feature a pet sound that we promised Jolene/Tobin in this episode, but I do want to tell you, Jenny, that Lex sings to their beautiful one-eyed cat, Logan, to the tune of Phases. Logan's a werewolf. He's a little guy.
Yes!
Logan's a werewolf, and he's only got one eye.
Yes! So. Could have written it myself.
I know
Feel
that.
Right at home in that.
Lex, you did not actually want me to be the one that sang that, but sorry, the email was in front
natural
of me.
talent jumped out. It had to be. All right, are you ready for something, Kristin?
I'm ready for anything.
From me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to send you a Buffy-related thing. Everybody, now is the time to go into the show notes and click on the link that Kristin will include in the show notes so you can be amazed along with us. Kristin, get a load of this.
Okay. Oh my God. Jenny has sent me a link to a Reddit post, the title of which is Miniature Model of Giles's Apartment, 1 to 12 scale. Oh my God. This Reddit user, Flaky Sock 7060. This is unbelievable. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Even the exterior. Did you get to the cat yet?
I haven't. I'm at the stairs with the fucking the tiles, what do you call those tiles?
Beautiful.
Oh my God. The clock, the fucking, oh my God, like the little alcove that looks from Giles's entryway into his kitchen. Oh my God, the cat. Okay, there's a picture of a full-sized cat, 1-to-1 size cat, looking into Giles's, like the middle section where Giles's desk is. Oh my God, the exterior. So is this is all one thing? Like you can look from the outside into the inside. Holy shit.
It's so beautiful.
This is like
outrageous
epic. The fucking fridge is open and you can see some milk. Question mark. Does Giles drink milk? I guess he probably does. In his tea.
Because it is tea, yeah.
A much more acceptable way to drink milk, if you ask me. Oh my God, this is incredible. We will, as Jenny said, link this into the show notes today, and you can look at it if you're not looking at it right now and wowing along with me. Does this person, I guess we don't know, but this is only from 4 days ago?
That's right.
Jenny on the fucking
I've got my
Reddit
finger.
beat. Yeah.
I've got my finger on the pulse. There's the occasional gold to be sifted from the Buffy subreddit.
Wow.
I mean, there's good stuff in there.
Wow. And this person who built it says it's 1 to 12 scale. It's built mostly from balsa wood and plywood with a few 3D printed and sculpted pieces. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The talent out there,
I know. It's just outrageous.
Now, speaking of talent, Jenny, do you want to tell me about Love Island? Because
I do. Okay.
Summer is upon us. More sun, more light. If you're a vampire, I am so sorry. If you're not, it's probably good news because you get to be outside, you get to do fun things, and usually the number one thing you don't want to be doing is cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor has chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals, and they're ready in 2 minutes, which takes the hassle out of eating well. We have a new baby in this house as well, so between wanting to get some time outside and taking care of a little one, we don't always have time to make meals. And usually we don't realize that we don't have that time until we're hungry. So having Factor in our fridge has been so incredible. They arrive fresh, ready to eat. They're perfect for any active lifestyle, summer and beyond. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all of the flavor and none of the fuss. Get started at factormeals.com/buffering50off and use code buffering50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code buffering50off at factormeals.com/buffering50off for 50% off plus free shipping. With 50% off, you may as well try it.
It can be overwhelming to manage a business, especially when you're first starting out. Your to-do list just keeps growing every day with new tasks, and that list can easily begin to overrun your life. Finding the right tool not only helps you out, but can simplify problems you haven't even encountered yet. And for millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify can help you easily build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Remind me, Kristin, have we talked about Love Island at all? Have I explained anything other than that I'm watching it?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, what I can tell you, I've been fishing, as I often do, in our Discord to see if there is absolutely any overlap whatsoever between our listenership and people who watch Love Island, and there is none. And yet I am still going to boldly blaze this trail forward because I think at least me explaining it is fun.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So I've only seen this season and I've only seen like half of it. But basically, people are looking for love. Straight people, are looking for love.
Straight people are looking for love. Okay, great.
Okay. So the premise is that you're trying to find love, and these people all go to live at a place called the Villa.
Okay, of course. Reminiscent of The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. I feel like the Villa is like something that seems in universe there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Imagine just visualize the worst place you could ever be.
Okay, great.
Everywhere you go, there's like a couch where people go to have chats. By the way, you don't talk to people, you have chats. You pull someone for a chat.
Okay, so you can't just are you allowed to just chat casually, or you must pull aside?
I think for the cameras, you have to say, "Can I pull you for a chat?" And then you take them over to a couch that is like blazingly bright, and it's underneath a neon sign that says "All the feels."
Oh God.
And like There's like if you take the steps up to where I think the women get ready. The women have a get ready room, which is like they all have their own like little makeup station, and you see them put makeup on and take makeup off. Like,
I mean, Jenny, you're saying that like all women don't have a get ready room. We all have one.
Right. But this is they're all together, okay? Yeah. And like over the door, it's like this is where the magic happens or some shit. Okay, so all right, the show begins, and we've got 5 men and 5 women.
Okay.
Right?
Perfect. One for everybody.
Exactly. What could go wrong? Yeah. And the thing I think that they do this differently at the beginning of every season, like the way that you initially get coupled up. For example, you might have all 5 women, and then they're like in person, and then there are 5 signs, and it's like guy name, 2 things about this guy, written on the sign, and go down the line like that, and then they each get to pick based on like what's on the sign, right? And then that's like your initial couple. So the 5 men and 5 women get coupled up, and you're like, it's just like there's like a 7-minute credit intro to a Janelle Monáe song that's just all of these people like dancing.
Janelle Monáe got in on this shit. Okay.
There's a guy who's a cowboy. You see him like riding a horse.
Okay.
There's just all kinds of just a lot of
but the guy riding the cowboy not on the show. It's just a guy.
No, he's on the show. It's like the first 5 men and 5 women because they're not. This is not the end of the casting. Oh, they're going to populate this island. These 10 people. Okay. These 10 people are in this incredibly long Janelle Monáe dance off credit sequence. Then you get the coupling, and then like for example, pretty much right off the bat, people are like coupled up, and Kristin, the language of the show is you want to explore a connection. You're here in the villa to explore connections.
Okay. That's what I've said to every person I've ever dated. I would love to explore a connection. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nobody's like, I'm gonna hook up or I want to bang that person. I just want to explore a connection. Yeah. Okay, so they get coupled up, and then the host has everyone sit in a big circle with blindfolds on, and she's like, if you want to kiss someone besides the person you're coupled with, raise your hand. And then they all silently, one at a time, get to take their mask off and go kiss whoever they want to kiss. And they sit down and put their blindfold.
I'm assuming all 5 of them want to kiss somebody else.
Pretty much. Yeah. It may have been like half. But then, Kristin, a man and a woman come from behind a door and each come out and kiss every single person of the opposite.
But they don't know it because they're blindfolded.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then they go away again. And the people don't even know that there are 2 more people in the mix until like an episode's length later. And when they add new people to the villa, they're called bombshells. And Kristin, these people, basically it seems like they're all kind of like influencers, and it has come out like post-show that like a bunch of them knew each other beforehand, but they're all acting like they're meeting for the first time and now they're friends for life, whatever. There's all this stuff that comes up, like they'll be like, they'll gather everyone at the fire pit and be like, if you are unsatisfied with your coupling, step forward. And, like some couples will get split up. And then if somebody becomes single, and unpartnered, they're then vulnerable. They can be voted off by their fellow castmates. They can be voted off by America because there's like regular voting. And as you mentioned, there's like, I think 4 regular episodes and 1 recap episode every week. So like people are getting voted off left and right. People are getting recoupled against their will. People are like liking each other. There were 2 people in the course of the season who just they were on the show one day, and then the next day they were just gone, and it's like not mentioned on the show, but like on social media you can find out like, oh, they said something racist in their Instagram story 2 years ago, and people have been
holy shit
messaging the network or whatever, and they just get taken out in the dead of night. Never to be seen again.
Where is the island?
Fiji. It's like right down the street, I think, from where Survivor 50 is currently
Mr. Probst
filming.
Lives in Fiji.
Yeah. There have been a lot of memes going around of like people in the villa reacting to like the sounds of people like screaming in Survivor challenges.
Okay, wait. I have a pitch.
Yeah. Okay.
You're in your kissing circle. Everyone is blindfolded. The bombshell actually is Jeff Probst. He goes around and he kisses everyone.
That would be amazing.
But it's never spoken about. He doesn't stay. He just goes back to Survivor, and no one knows until they watch the show back that they've been kissed by Jeff Probst.
I would love that. I think Jeff would love that.
Yeah.
Jeff loves creating television moments. Did you know that Jeff cried for the first time in the last season of Survivor?
Why did I know that? Maybe you told me. Maybe the internet told me.
I probably told you.
Yeah. Somebody told me that Jeff Probst
Okay,
cried.
so these people are like doing this stuff, and like every morning the men go down to the kitchen and they make breakfast and bring breakfast up to the women that they're partnered with. They all sleep in the same room. They all sleep in beds together in one long room that's just a row of beds.
Oh my God, that reminds me of college. I just saw my college roommates recently, and maybe I don't know if I just talked about this on a pod, but I was tripled in a double in college. And so, a room for two, and there were three of us. And then when we were able our next year to get a room that would fit all of us, we picked a triple, and the beds were put around the perimeter of a room like normal fucking people would sleep, and we put them like fucking Madeline in a row, 1, 2, 3. So like that, but double beds, queen beds, king beds. I don't know.
Is Madeline in an orphanage?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you guys were orphaning out.
We were little orphan Annieing up in our fucking spot. Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, so they all sleep in a big room, big bed.
They all sleep in a big room with a bunch of beds in a row. They sometimes, like, couples will get to like, oh my God, they don't have their phones.
Okay.
For 6 weeks.
Okay, that makes sense.
But what they do have is like a Villa issued, like a Love Island issued phone.
Sounding
And
more and
they
more
just
like
have-
college, 4 digits to call your friend next door.
Yeah, they have nothing going on, and then every once in a while, somebody will get a text that's like, get ready to leave the villa. This person and this person, you're going on a date.
Okay.
Or everyone report to the fire pit immediately, or this and that, whatever. So every time somebody gets a text, they're like, oh, I got a text! And everyone is like, ah! It's just really out there. Kristin.
Oh, I had one final question, which is if they're all in one room with a big string of beds, do they have to have sex with everybody else there?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because people definitely do hook up in that room, and it is like, people are like, hey, could you not be so loud? But then there's also a special sort of suite called the Hideaway, where every once in a while they'll get a text, and it's like, select one couple to sleep at the Hideaway tonight.
Ooh.
And everyone's like, ah! And there is, I'm sorry to inform you, a chant that they all started doing that goes, eat that kitty, eat that kitty,
No,
eat that
take
kitty
it back.
in the Hideaway.
Take it back.
I wish I could.
Back.
I wish I could, but I can't.
No.
I wish I could, but I can't.
No, you see, this is why I should not let you wear shirts with flora and fauna on them.
But the Hideaway is like pretty sweet, because there's like a hot, like there's a jacuzzi, there's a bed, but also there's still just cameras everywhere. Like, people are just like literally having sex on camera with a blanket in between them and the camera.
Okay, you know what?
You know what I mean?
Do what you got to do. Look. You're looking for love on an island with Jeff Probst, and that's par for the course, I think.
Oh, yeah. Also, oh my God, the tattoos on the men. Okay, all of the women are, Kristin, I learned a word.
Okay.
It's bogged. The word that I learned is bogged.
Bogged. Okay, wait, should I guess? Can you use it in a sentence, and then I'll try to figure out what it means?
Those women are bogged.
Well, okay, well, thank you so much for all of that, those hints and context clues that I can pull off of. Okay, it means they are really, really in need of sex. They're bogged. They are bogged down with the weight of not having had sex, and they need sex right away. What does it mean?
Okay. Bogged, as an adjective, refers to someone who has had so much plastic surgery that their face or body looks artificial or overdone. I guess the long form is bogged down. You're bogged down.
Yeah, which is what I did
filler
get
and Botox.
bogged down, but I didn't go the right direction.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
There's there's just a lot of modification happening.
What a weird...
On the women's side of things. On the men's side of things, I would say 50% of the men have like their entire torsos and arms are tattooed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One guy has a full sleeve of the Joker.
Oh, interesting.
One guy, I think, has his own name on his back and then a picture like of him as a baby on his chest. And I think it says God's child.
Oh, my God.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. I knew about the last name tattoo. So you're bringing up a lot of things I would like to clarify. So last night we all watched Firestarter together. And by that, I mean everybody watched Firestarter and I fell asleep a couple times because I'm tired. But at the very end, after the movie was over, you brought up Love Island because that's your new thing. And somebody said something about a guy who had his own name tattooed on his back. And I said, I hooked up with a guy in college who had his name tattooed on his back. And then I realized that in my generational lifespan, hooked up has meant different things. Like,
yes, it used to mean smooch, but now it means bang.
Right. Like
bang.
I did some stuff with this guy, but we did not bang. And so I just wanted to say, like, I did not, but he had his last name.
Clarifying.
I just want to clarify that I wasn't like, yo, I fucked this dude. Like, I didn't mean it like that is all I want to say. And it was his last name. Is this the guy's last name or his first name?
His first name.
His first name. Incredible.
His first name.
All that said, the baby photo of himself on his chest is unbelievable. You are having sex with this man and you are looking at him as a baby. Unbelievable.
And seeing it say God's child. And then there's one of the guys has a huge chest like piece that is just like a Planet of the Apes tattoo.
He's really getting you from any direction. No matter which position you're having sex with him, you are witnessing.
I like that you're leaving the possibility open for
reverse. I'm gay. I don't know if you know this about me.
No, totally. I did know that about you. Oh wait, you just reminded me of one more thing.
Pegging is on the table, okay? So
oh yeah. Megan Thee Stallion came on for one episode and judged a twerking contest.
Oh my God. Okay, well, do you want to hear what Dawn was doing?
We do, but I have to tell you one more thing. And it's kind of related to Dawn because it's about the mother of a daughter. And Dawn is the daughter of a mother, as we all know.
She is.
One of the women named Huda is a mom.
Okay.
She has a 5-year-old daughter, I believe.
Okay.
And she got paired up with this guy, Jeremiah, at the beginning of the show. And she had told all of the women that she was a mother, but she hadn't told any of the men. And then she ended up telling Jeremiah, who she was in a couple with, and he kind of like spiraled out a little bit. And he was like, I need to talk to somebody about this. So she was like, okay, I'll tell one boy. I'll pick one boy to tell so that you have a man to talk to.
Okay.
So she goes to this guy, Nick. And is like, okay, so I believe it went something like, she's like, Nick, I have to tell you something. He's like, yeah, what's up? And it is like, I'm a mommy. M-O-M-M-Y. We understand M-O-M-M-Y.
She didn't
and he's
say,
like,
she didn't spell it.
No, she didn't spell it. And he is like, mommy? Parentheses, M-A-M-I? And she's like, I'm a mama. And he's like, mamacita. Which I'm kind of surprised that you're not like, oh, that's what that is, because it has so
been
firmly like dug its tendrils into the culture that this exchange has become like inescapable and like memed to the nth degree. So I'm shocked that I'm telling you this for the first time.
Well, I've just continued to hate my phone more and more, so I've been missing.
Yeah, get that thing out of here.
Yeah. Did she ever say mother, or she never got there?
Hard to say. I can't remember. I only remember the meme. I don't remember the actual moment in the episode.
Unbelievable. No,
okay, I'm sorry for talking about Love Island for like so long, but I hope everyone had fun and isn't mad at me for talking about it. But
you know what?
Did you have fun, Kristen?
This is our space. I had fun. Thing. I had a good time.
This is for us. This is for us. Now, what the hell was Dawn doing?
What was Dawn doing during Inca Mummy Girl?
Was she at the mall? Was she at ballet? Was she drawn on a trapper keeper all day? Was she nursing a crush on a boy from PE? Dawn doing? What was Dawn doing? What was Dawn doing? What was Dawn doing?
Well, Kristin with an I, not me, has of course written in to tell us.
Thank God.
On the way to school, Joyce tells Buffy and Dawn for the first time, come on, Mom, that she signed them up for the Student Cultural Exchange Program. Joyce just started a new Spanish class and is excited to practice with Ampada. That is so believable. Understanding passes between Dawn and Buffy, both recognizing the potential problems a stranger in the house could bring. Dawn helps Buffy de-slayer her room, but gets distracted by a gigapet in one of the desk drawers. Buffy's gigapet is dead, of course, so Dawn hits the reset button to get a new gigapet and forgets to move the weapons in the desk drawers. Dawn, it was your one job! That was an addendum by this Kristin with an I.
Yeah.
The night Ampada arrives, Joyce has to work late while some guy installs a new computer system at the gallery. So she takes Dawn with her while Buffy picks up Ampada. When they get home, Dawn immediately likes Ampada, who conspicuously tells her about mummies and Incan princesses. Later, while journaling in the Dawnmeister Chronicles about how it was so unfair that Xander and Willow were over while she was stuck doing stupid homework at the gallery, the inexplicable sound of a pan flute catches her attention. The next day, Dawn...
Oh, man, that is funny.
Yeah. The next day, Dawn experiences a betrayal when she learns Ampada and Xander are going to the dance together. Oh, shit. She refuses to come out of her room while Ampada gets ready. Giles comes over and Dawn can hear him talking to Buffy in her room. She obviously eavesdrops, and as soon as they leave, Dawn darts into Buffy's room to look inside Ampada's chest, confirming her worst fears. An evil mummy must have done something evil to force Xander to fall in love with her. Fretting for Xander's safety, Dawn eagerly awaits Buffy's arrival home. When Buffy finally comes home, Dawn's relieved to hear that both Xander and Willow are okay. Dawn tells Buffy she opened Ampada's chest. Buffy's irritated by Dawn's snooping, but they spend the next hour together anyway, brainstorming ways to get rid of the mummified body in Buffy's room. The end.
What would we do without this brave historian?
I know.
Keeping us in the loop.
One by one, letting us know what is going on in the world of what was Dawn doing. Additionally, so this is a channel that we have on Discord where folks can write in. And obviously, Kristin with an I, not me, is now simply like, you have no choice. You must simply write in for every episode because we're compiling them. But it is open to all. And Nicole, first of her name, that's her Discord name, wrote in. And I just want to read part of this because it also really tracks for me. Dawn has been looking forward to the arrival of the summer's cultural exchange student because when a guest comes, she has to give up her room and sleep on the couch. She pretends to hate it, but it's actually great because she can watch TV and eat leftover pizza with all the anchovies she wants without Buffy making fun of her. But it turns out the exchange student is a girl and they'll stay in Buffy's room. Ugh. So, anyway... Thank you to all that contribute to what Dawn was doing. Jenny, do we have time for another email or two? What are you feeling?
I'm down for another email or two. I also have something to report to you.
Okay, great. Just back to plants. Katerina wrote in and said, just wondering, are the leaf miner babies leaf miners?
Wow. So, yeah.
Just
of course they are.
Just wanted to get that bump in here. Okay, so stratovolcanoes. Hello. Not a geologist or a volcanologist, but I did take geology as my science credits in college. Great. Yes. We will take you. Accepted. Volcanologist. Degree granted by Buffering the Vampire Slayer. A stratovolcano is pretty much probably what you picture when you think of a volcano. Tall and triangular. Think, and then there's two slashy lines with a little circle between them of what you think of when you think of a volcano. They're built up over time of cooled, hardened lava. The lava viscosity is hella high, so it doesn't get very far before it cools down, making these volcanoes steep AF. The other
love high viscosity. Go on.
Mm-hmm. The other kind of volcanoes are shield volcanoes, which are more like, and then one parenthesis, so to sort of show us the curve, but flipped 90 degrees, like the top half of a circle. There's probably more types that I don't remember, but I hope that helps.
Okay, Kristin, are you ready for a moment of clarity?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So the full exchange between Nick and Huda was as follows. I'm a mommy. Mommy? I'm a mom. Mamacita. No, I'm a mommy. A mom of what? A dog?
Oh,
I have
my God.
a daughter. Like in real life?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Oh, my God. Wow. Incredible.
Oh. Okay, thanks for listening.
I love it.
I'm so glad Love Island is over.
I was ready to say, okay, we're done with this episode, but there's actually one other email from Genevieve in San Diego that is about Ampata and this episode overall, and it's really smart and well written, and just about like the larger arc of Buffy that I thought might be a good ending, because where else were we going to read this if not in the Watcher's Diary for Inca Mummy Girl?
This is exciting, and I feel like we'll sort of like balance out the amount that I have spent talking about Love Island.
Yeah, just trying to put some Inca Mummy Girl stuff on the scale on that side, where the Love Island is chock full. Okay, so Genevieve wrote in and said, I've been thinking about why Inca Mummy Girl does Ampata so wrong. I agree with you both that the decision to portray her as a villain was intentional for character and thematic reasons, but it was executed poorly and thoughtlessly. Ampata is a clear foil to Buffy, a reluctant, chosen hero, but she's also a part of the season's exploration of hard choices. One of Buffy's strengths as a show is how it picks a big theme or themes every season, which guide episode plots and character arcs. A great example is the appearance of Vampire Willow in season 3, which is all about doppelgangers and shadow selves. Season 2, I know. And I'm like, I'm reading this email. I'm like, right, Kristin, you got to think big. Remember to think big this time.
Are we the hosts of the show? Or should we give the show to this person?
Yeah, questionable on whether we are the hosts. I'm not sure. But we at least are on the mics. So we will responsibly read from the other hosts of this show who definitely remind us to think big. Season 2 ends with Buffy having to choose between saving the world and saving Angel. So that's what the whole season explores, hard choices. More specifically, choosing between two bad options. Buffy says so explicitly in Lie to Me when she tells Ford, remember Ford? You have a choice. You don't have a good choice, but you have a choice.
Oh my God, I have full body goosebumps. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm telling you, this is what you come to a podcast for. Season 2.
Oh my God. The hair on my arm looks like the hair on the arm in that meme.
Season 2 is also by far one of the least subtle, and that can lead to both impactful and sloppy storytelling. Inca Mummy Girl is one of the sloppier examples at Ampata's expense. Like Buffy, she's faced with two bad options: dying again or actively killing other people to stay alive. She chooses the selfish option and is punished immediately. It foreshadows Buffy's choice about Angel and offers us a glimpse of the consequences she might face if she also goes the selfish route. I'm not against the story. I know! I'm not against the story in principle, but Lie to Me executes better on season 2's theme, and Faith is a much better Slayer gone bad character. It's not a coincidence that Faith is more rounded out and white. I think there are absolutely ways the writers could have let Ampata make the selfish choice and face the consequences without villainizing or dehumanizing her, but it would have taken time that they weren't willing to spend on a one-episode character. So what we end up with is one of many non-white characters killed in a really brutal way. Too long didn't read. Inca Mummy Girl is racist for story reasons. Great job, team. And then as a final note, a lot of this is informed by Passion of the Nerds coverage of Buffy, which really digs into longer thematic arcs and has great video edits. I highly recommend it. Genevieve, something really exciting is that as we are poking around in the world of production, we are in contact with Ian, who is Passion of the Nerd, and are hoping to have him guest on an episode in this very season 2. So that's a fun connection there. But this email is just really brilliant and does a great job of lacing together these big thematic themes that, Jenny, I would like to make a mental note to try to do more of as we discuss this time through.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Genevieve. Thank you to all of you who wrote in. Thank you to the producers of Love Island for giving us content that we could really dig deep into. Now, next Watcher's Diary, Jenny, I think we should really think about the big thematic arcs of Love Island, like what they're really going for with each season, because I know that is a thing.
Should we... Okay. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll have completely forgotten about Love Island and I'll be totally obsessed with something else. In a few weeks' time.
Perfect.
But until that time, I'm Jenny Owen Youngs, and I love making this podcast, and I love everybody's emails, and I love telling you about things you don't want to know about, Kristin.
And I'm Kristin Russo, and just so everyone knows, I have not forgotten that Jenny and I need to play Marry, Fuck, Kill, the Droid and Cylon edition, that Jenny needs to watch Diana Ross's music video for Muscles, the song, but, we can only do so much in each episode, and I think we're going to be doing some more bonus episodes as we roll into the fall, so I do have a list. No one panic.
When you marry, does that mean you don't get to fuck, or does that mean you get everything that's encompassed in the sort of like marriage package?
No. I feel like we've talked about this before, actually, because I've had similar questions. I think you can fuck while married. Generally, just in case you were wondering, married folks out there, you can still have sex. But I think that it's a different thing. It's your lifetime commitment of all of the things involved in marriage, which you and I don't actually know. Right. We've never been married.
We've never been married. No. What is that? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep, I've got a Cylon in mind. Okay. My name's Jenny Owen Youngs. Thanks for listening.
Talk to you next time.
Well, who are you?
I'm Kristin. I already said it. You just weren't listening.
Well, I don't listen when you talk. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Taking a stab at Tobin. Tobin, 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 Tobin. I'm begging of you, please don't bite my hand. Tobin, 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 Tobin. Please don't maul me just because you care. Your lovely tufts of soft white fur, the way you rumble when you purr, and that asshole that you keep so very clean doesn't seem like any of my business. We've gotta do this comb we do. I know it makes no sense to you, but we gotta be a team on this. Tobin, 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 Tobin. I'm begging of you, please don't bite my hand. Tobin, 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 Tobin. Please don't maul me just because you care.
The Old West is an iconic period of American history and full of legendary figures whose names still resonate today, like Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Butch and Sundance, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, and Geronimo, Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, and Bass Reeves, Buffalo Bill Cody, Wild Bill Hickok, the Texas Rangers, and many more. Hear all their stories on the Legends of the Old West podcast. We'll take you to Tombstone, Deadwood, and Dodge City, to the plains, mountains, and deserts for battles between the U.S. Army and Native American warriors, to dark corners for the disaster of the Donner Party, and shining summits for achievements like the Transcontinental Railroad. We'll go back to the earliest days of explorers and mountain men, and head up through notorious Pinkerton agents and gunmen like Tom Horn. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. I'm Chris Wimmer. Find Legends of the Old West wherever you're listening now. American history is full of infamous tales that continue to captivate audiences decades or even hundreds of years after they happened. On the Infamous America podcast, you'll hear the true stories of the Salem witch trials and the escape attempts from Alcatraz, of bank robbers like John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd, of killers like Lizzie Borden and Charles Starkweather, of mysteries like the Black Dahlia and D.B. Cooper, and of events that inspired movies like Goodfellas, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zodiac, 8 Men Out, and many more. I'm Chris Wimmer. Join me as we crisscross the country from the Miami drug wars and Dixie Mafia in the South, to mobsters in Chicago and New York, to arsonists, kidnappers, and killers in California, to unsolved mysteries in the heartland and in remote corners of Alaska. Every episode features narrative writing and cinematic music, and there are hundreds of episodes available to binge. Find Infamous America wherever you get your podcasts.